Is this a Batman that I hate? Good day, my friends, and welcome back once again to Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles. My name's Chris. I'm the BSC, and we're talking about Batman today, baby. A brand new premium format from Sideshow Collectibles. However, do I hate it? That's the question that we're going to be talking about today. Now, this is sculpted by the incredible Martin Canale, who is one of my favorite sculptors. I absolutely love this one, but to be honest, I am not all of that wowed by it, but kind of is medium growing on me, except for one exception, and that is the head sculpt. I do not like the head sculpt at all, and I get what Martin is doing. Is inspired by incredible artists like Kelly Jones and other people, but I think the problem is the render has got lost in translation. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about today as I show you the official photos. The price point, it's up for pre-order right now. If you're interested, you can order it right now. But it's the head sculpt that has me bothered, but it's the final product, not what it was actually sculpted, if that makes any sense. So without further ado, let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, guys, so here we go, and this is a very unique Batman. This is something different for sure. It is a stylized approach. Again, I like what Martin has done here. It's the blue Batman, which I'm not a giant fan of blue Batman in general, but I do like the stylized approach to this. I like the bats flying off. I like the Art Deco style base. There's a lot of like mechanical type of things, like almost steampunk elements to this one. So again, there's lots and lots to appreciate with this statue, in my opinion. I do like, again, just the overall aesthetic of the piece. It is a sizable piece as well. You could see with the swooping cape, and it is, for the price point, in my opinion, a good value. I think it's a decent value for sure. But what doesn't speak to me so much is the portrait. And again, I'm going to get into that here in just a second. But I do like the overall aesthetic of the piece. I think it's fun. I like the side profile. It kind of reminds me of the original Batman premium format from years ago. Maybe a little bit too much chin. I feel like it's pretty chin heavy. But I don't love this portrait, especially from the front. I don't like it because I think it's just a little bit too narrow for the body. And I got to give a shout out to Jeff Horton, a big fan of his, and he's a big supporter of the channel. He brought out the fact that Martin had the actual renders, okay? And if you look at the black and white renders, like here it is from ZBrush. I love this. I think this portrait is great. He's got a wider jaw, a wider face, but for whatever reason, when it translated over to the statue, I feel like it went from this to much skinnier. And me personally, again, this is just the Batman statue collector's take, I feel like the portrait is too skinny. It's narrowed out. And again, I don't know if that's because of the printing process or what, but I feel like if they could somehow tweak it to make that jawline just a little thicker, I think that this piece would be a lot better, and I would definitely be interested in looking at it again, but it's just the portrait right now. I just feel like, again, I feel like the sculpt was there that Martin did, but when it translated over to the statue, I just don't feel like it doesn't work for me anyway. And I'm not the only one that said that in the community. I feel like a lot of collectors have felt that way as well. And so I do want to hear your take on it as well in the comments, so please make sure you read it. But like from the side profile, I think that looks pretty decent. But I just feel like if they could fatten up the face a little bit, or what I really had hoped they would do on this one is give us a second portrait. $690 though, guys. I feel like that's a very fair price. This is a large statue. It's very sizable, especially with that cape and the base. So I feel like the value is there. I feel like $690 is not too bad at all, in my opinion. But I wish that they had, or would at least consider, doing a second portrait, maybe kind of like a rage portrait or something, or maybe with the short ears or whatever. Again, I know not everybody likes the Kelly Jones long ears, but for me, it is a dynamic piece. I think it's well sculpted. Again, it's very stylized the way the body is done. I like the aesthetic of the bats. Again, they're kind of very mechanical looking to me. And I like that. It's just, again, something different. Sideshow's offering us something different. I like the overall storytelling on the base as well, with kind of the clouds and the bats going up alongside it. So again, it's very stylized. I don't know how many times I could say stylized in one video, but I'm going to keep saying it. But anyway, I like what Martin has done here. I think it's very creative. And again, it's just, for me, it's that narrowing of the portrait. I wish that they would do a second portrait, or listen to feedback and try to fatten that face up just a little bit to give him that more square jaw to make him look a little bit tougher. Because I feel like in the original render, it was there, which a lot of times we see that. A lot of times the final product, for whatever reason, when it's sculpted, it's just a little bit different. But aesthetically, it's a cool piece. It's probably one that I'm not going to end up in the collection. But I do like it overall, except for that portrait. I just wish that they would change that. Again, the cape is very cool. It reminds me of that tall one they did years back with a really super long cape. So again, it's not always realistic, but it captures that feel, that style from the comics. Batman's cape is not always realistic in the comics, that's for sure. But from top to bottom, I think it's a cool piece. I just wish that they would tweak that one little element, and I think it would be a bigger hit for Sideshow. But I do think it's cool. It's definitely Batman. It's a different take on Batman. So again, I would love to see more villains, however. But another Batman from Martin, pretty cool. All right, guys, so there you have it. I am not wowed by this Batman. I don't love blue Batman in general, but I really like the artistic nature of this piece. I do like what Martin was going for with this piece. I just don't feel like it, in the final version, it's what I was wanting, me as a consumer, it just, as a Batman collector, it's just, I don't really care for it. The head is too narrow. If it was a little bit different, or if they did offer a second portrait, I would be into this piece because I do like the swoop nature of it. The price point, I think, is very good. And I like the kind of the stylized bats and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of really great things about it. It's just that portrait, for me, it ruins it. And again, if it was what he originally sculpted, where it was a little thicker face, a little fuller face, I really do feel like it would have been something I would consider. But as of the filming of this, it's not something I'm considering. So for me, it is a bit of a miss just because of that portrait. But again, I like what they originally sculpted, but the final product I just don't really care for. But I am going to turn it over to you like I always do. Let me know what you guys think about this particular one. Is it on your list? Is it a must buy for you, or do you also have the same concerns about the portrait? Again, it is stylized, so again, it's just maybe not my cup of tea. If it was going to be a Kelly Jones piece, then maybe I would have wanted it to be more of a vampire. But again, I understand what Martin is going for. Again, I love him. I just bought his Daniel Bell piece with him and the Joker, Batman and Joker. So a lot of love for Martin, but for whatever reason, this one doesn't speak to me quite as much. Again, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear them. Anyway, thank you so very much for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed it. And again, the links are down below if you want to order it. Again, that does help support the channel very much. And one other thing you can do is hit the join button down below for early access, and that also helps the channel as we are on our road to now 85K, which is awesome. Thank you guys so very much. I love each and every one of you for the incredible growth here on the channel, for being supportive of the channel all these years. Cannot thank you guys enough. Love each and every one of you. See you in the Batcave. Bye, everybody. Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these two awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also, please join us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.